After arriving from my 7.5-hour trip back down to the south from Senja on February 10th, I spent the next day trying to shake off my cold and catch up on some sleep while teaching my online class. The sun came out a few times, but the forecast was still calling for non-stop rain, and I was beginning to get depressed. The last thing I wanted in Lofoten in February was wind and rain. Without the snow, the landscape was barren and brown, and I absolutely couldn't go out to shoot if the wind was constantly blowing rain into my lens. Furthermore, I couldn't see a break in the clouds for days on my weather apps, which meant no clear sky to shoot the Aurora. Fortunately, my luck was about to change. It's like some nice light. Wish there was snow. That'd be awesome. Wednesday morning. I think today's the 11th. Getting some snow showers. Cleaning off the car. Just about to take off and go exploring. I might try to do a little hiking this morning. This is my Airbnb, which is wonderful. On February the 12th, two amazing things happened at once. First, in spite of the forecast calling for rain, it began to snow overnight, and then it just kept snowing for the rest of my time in Lofoten. Secondly, the weather broke and I woke up to one of the first partly cloudy mornings that I had seen in Lofoten. I knew my chances to shoot were going to be limited, so I immediately headed to a location that had been on my list for a couple of years. With only an inch or so on the ground and partly cloudy skies in the forecast, I finally had my chance to climb Offersoykammen, which was a small mountain just outside of Leknes. I found this spot on Google Earth before my trip in 2024 and was uneasy about trying to climb it in heavy snow as I was worried about avalanches and trying to navigate my way up there in snowshoes. On this particular morning, only a little snow had fallen overnight, and it really looked like the ideal day to try this hike. Taking off. This might be a lot harder than I think, but right now it seems pretty accessible. The light's amazing. There's a lot of great conditions up there. It's a rainbow. Nice trail just on this side of the guardrail. It's still snowing a little bit. It's kind of a nice shot right there with those cabins. All right, let's see what happens. Looks like it's gonna be a lot muddier than I had anticipated as well. It's a tough start. This trail, there are so many down trees you gotta climb over. It's very boggy, lots of swamp because the temperature's up. So lots of challenges just trying to find the trail. Yeah, I made it through the trees. Next time I try this, whatever this is, this little boat thing, like the end of the cabins, that's where you want to cross and then just come up here. That's gotta be so much easier than trying to fight your way through that mess. It's just bogs and dead trees. Really a bad idea. I don't know who started that trail. Got to a little bit of a shoulder. And beautiful views from up here. Let me go wide, hang on. Okay, the snow flurries that I was looking at earlier are here, blowing in from that direction. So the view's gonna disappear for a minute. I think it's gonna snow pretty good. And then I'm hoping this thing just blows through in about 10-15 minutes. view that way still really nice. But yeah, I can't tell how big this flurry is. Starting to head down. It was minutes 15 up here a minute ago, and now everybody's off the mountain. This is nice. So here's the summit. There's no showers moving in. Absolutely stunning. Shooting a time lapse as this next round of snow showers starts heading towards us. Gonna head down pretty soon. It's already snowing down there. Oh man. Heading back down. Nobody else up here right now. It's not quite 2 o'clock. Most of these clouds towards the sun are kind of thinning out a little bit, so I'm a little bit doubtful about what's going to happen with light in the clouds if I stay up here longer. There is another snow squall heading this way over there. So I'm thinking I might just skip the snow squall and head down early. And then if the light dies, goes behind the mountain, doesn't do anything, I didn't miss out on too much. If it does something spectacular, I'll feel really bad. I took some stupid trail way up there by where that little tractor is or something. There's another trail and it's stupid. Completely overgrown with trees, in a bog, in a marsh. This is how you want to go. There's 3 cabins, I remember that now. 3 cabins, you go right across the street, it's right there. So it only took me a little over an hour maybe to get back down, even with picking my way through the ice and the snow. So coming down was much easier. Going up I took the wrong trail, and that took a half hour. And then it was just a long slog to the top. We'll have some good snow showers today. it cleared up just enough to really get a nice panoramic view of all the mountains up there. Very grateful for that. So glad I came down when I did. It's gushing down snow now. I felt pretty good about my decision to leave when I did after another snowstorm moved in and killed all the light for the day just before sunset. It was still coming down hard as I arrived back at my Airbnb and got ready for dinner. On February the 13th, it looked like there might be a bit of clearing off to the south, so I set off for Reine and Hamnoy. On my way there, however, the light broke through over Ramberg beach, lighting up the clouds just behind one of the most iconic cabins in the Lofoten Islands. While I was shooting the cabin, I kept looking for a way to get down next to the water on the fjord. After finding my way down next to the water, I spent the next 40 minutes shooting along the coast before another storm blew in. So from that cabin, I just went down and shot all along the beach and then finished at these rocks. Really nice reflections down there. I think I might have some nice shots. But on my way to Reine to see what's up there. It's clearing up to the south. This is another big push coming in from the north. Even though this was my third year in a row shooting the area south of Ramberg, it quickly occurred to me as I drove that this part of the Lofoten Islands just never gets old. I found myself grateful for another chance to explore Fredvang, Reine, and Hamnoy while trying to find a bit of clear sky as the next storm blew in. Hiked up here for a view of this island. Like 10 minutes ago, it was completely clear, beautiful reflections, and then more snow moved in. So I am on my way home to grab some lunch, back to the Airbnb, and then I'll see what happens this afternoon, maybe some sunset. I spent the next 3 days looking for breaks in the weather while shooting all over Skifjorden and Vestvagoy, including trips to Selfjorden, Skagsanden, Vareid, Unstad, and eventually down to Skifjorden and Valberg. In most of these locations, the sun would only be out for around half an hour before another wave of snow would blow in. Although my opportunities were limited, the low angle of the February sun and several inches of new snow made for many unforgettable trips over the next few days. So here's the fish. Oh my God. I think is it just fish heads? As I neared the end of my trip, it became clear that I was running out of time to shoot the Aurora, which was very disappointing considering that this was one of the main reasons I made the trip back this year. After almost 2 solid weeks of shooting, the KP index was either too low or the sky was covered in clouds. But finally, on the evening of February 14th, my luck changed. I would have been happy with the results from that night, but on February the 16th, on my last night on the islands, the sky put on another display. Snow just keeps getting deeper outside. Got some icicles. When I looked at my apps earlier, it made it look like it was going to start clearing up around 4, and now it's dumping. After 16 days of travel and several hundred kilometers of driving while trying to fight off a nasty cold, it was finally time to head home from Norway on Monday, February the 17th. After watching the snow come down all day, I headed to Leknes Airport at 5 p.m., dropped off my rental car, and boarded a flight back to Buda. Even though I had to deal with arriving at Buda Airport at 5:30 a.m. the next morning in order to catch 3 flights back to LAX, I was extremely grateful for my time in northern Norway. I'm already planning another trip back to Senja in late May, so if you're interested in seeing more of Norway, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell in order to not miss future episodes. Before ending this episode, here are a few of my shots from my 3rd year shooting the amazing Lofoten Islands in winter.